the real war started for most of us when we came home. You can take the soldier out of the war, but you can never take the war out of the soldier. And just because the bombs and the bullets stop flying doesn't mean the war is over for a lot of guys that have served.
What made me come here to Fairway was the culture. It's more than just mortgages. Yeah, that's what we do for a living. That's how we make our money. But for me, that's just not enough. And everybody on the team has really embraced the cause and embraced the advocacy, which is really fantastic.
Today, you will learn how to better serve our military veterans when buying or selling a home.
But my grandfather was in the military. My father was in the military. I'm not a veteran, but I absolutely am an American patriot. In a garage, I found a box. I opened them up and I just saw these purple things, right? The Purple Heart Award, which we know is when you're injured in combat. And I didn't find only one, I found 3 of them.
That's crazy. So he finds these in a box in the garage, and you said your grandfather's medals from World War II. I mean, he's an infantry guy. He's got at least from what we see 2 Purple Hearts and a Silver Star. So the Silver Star is the 3rd highest medal for heroism in combat in the nation.
Grandfather never talked about it. In fact, I found them in a dusty old box in a garage, which is, it's unbelievable to me.
We've probably done over 100 of these events in the last 2 years and talked to probably 10,000 real estate agents by now. And every time we come to a city, they say, "Oh, my grandfather served. We didn't find his medals until after he died." And this is like this is like a validation of everything that we've talked about or have been talking about for like the last year.
You know, my father didn't talk about anything about the war until he had a reunion with 100 of his guys. You know, they all got together and they're crying, they're laughing. I didn't know anything about that. And if I wouldn't have attended that, I still wouldn't know my father's legacy, and we might not be here today doing this.
Why do guys serve? I think that they serve because they love their family, they love their friends, they love their country, and they want to protect and defend those people. And so when I told my buddies about my first day in the war, and I saw that it was hurting the people that I had taken an oath to defend and protect, whether it was an unconscious or conscious thing for me, I decided to lock my experience away and never talk about it again.
You know, an appraisal comes in a little bit low, and in the industry we think it's the end of the world, it's the worst thing that happened in our life, and it's not. And I think when you consider the things that our veterans have been through, currently serving, you know, served in the past, their challenges are certainly a lot larger than the ones we have, and we need to put it in perspective. And it helps us, I think, when we have these events to walk away from them with that perspective.
My heart goes out to them. You know, it's a different breed. What they do for us in the military, it's a different breed. I don't think I could do it myself. But just the sacrifices they make so we can do what we do, that's the biggest thing. It's just great to be able to have events like this, raise money, and be able to give back and do things for our military.
I realized that telling my story and encouraging other veterans to tell their story can be profoundly healing, not just for the veteran, but for our nation.
When I was looking for a veteran to honor, John came to mind, and it's going to be a really cool day today. He thinks he's here to speak on behalf of the CMRS. What was really cool is his wife thinks we're giving him an award, which I guess technically we are, right? But neither of them know. It was cool to kind of get both of them to surprise.
It felt like I got shocked. That's when the bullet went right through here underneath my armpit, right above my side plate. From that point, they medevaced me out. I spent, I flatlined 4 times. One was right when they got me on the chopper. I spent 2 months in a coma, and then another year learned how to walk again, everything else. Took out both my lungs, half my intestines, half my stomach. My gallbladder's gone. 70% of my liver was gone. It ricocheted off my spine, shattered my rib cage. You know, you name it, it hit it. It just kind of went through, tumbled around, and came back around and back out the front.
We had previously helped them find a home, so it was awesome that we're able to surprise them today with the Disney trip. So it'll be awesome.
The first year was the hardest. I lived in my house, blinds were pulled shut. Yeah, I didn't really talk to anybody. I cut ties with all my friends. That was it. That was my life. I actually started doing nonprofit work, and because of that, I get out and do a lot more speaking events. And the speaking events have led to me telling my story, which is basically, I guess, beating a dead horse. It doesn't bother me anymore. It's one of those things where it's like the first 20 times I told it, I couldn't even tell the story. And now it's like I can go through it and it doesn't even faze me.
John, Tia, it's funny, I had talked to Tia about 3 weeks ago, and before I spoke with you, and I said, I need you to do a couple things for me so we can bring John here, and we want to give you an award. So she was lying to you for 2.5 weeks. And then I called John, and I said, John, I need you to come here today, and could you just share your story? And that's all that I said. And John, there's nothing that we could ever do to repay you for the sacrifice that you've given for our country. And this doesn't even scratch the surface, but the Michael Mann team, Fairway Independent Mortgage, in conjunction with the American Warriors Initiative, would like to present you, your wife, and your kids a trip to Disney World. All expenses paid.
Yeah, well, apparently she knew what was going on, and I didn't.
Well, I didn't actually know anything. I just knew to be here and get you here.
Oh,
She
that's
is gonna have
awesome.
a blast.
We've talked about that since she's been born, about doing something like that. And that's awesome. That's awesome.
What it's going to do for the real estate agents is it's going to help them understand our military, help them know how to work with them, and they deserve everything they can get, and they deserve to be treated differently.
This is just our way to give back and recognize and do something, just do something, do one thing.